January was a very good month for cryptocurrency, with most coins going up 30 to 40% and even more. So in this video, we're covering what happened in the crypto markets in January, some of the most interesting headlines in my personal opinion. We're going to go over what coins are pumping, what coins are dumping, and stick around until the end of the video, where I'll also be going over where I think the next 100x opportunities may be. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Dan. I make crypto content, and I try to make it easy and understandable because I know the jargon is very technical and maybe you don't understand what's happening, but you want to. So I want to make that happen. And I've been in crypto since 2016. I love understanding new technologies, and I've also seen a lot of stress. So yeah, let's go on this journey together. And if you enjoy the content, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm also doing a newsletter with all of this information, so if you want access to that, there will be a link in the description. And yeah, you might be able to win some stuff too, because I also do some giveaways. Now let's look at the biggest headlines from January, because I think this is important things when it comes to cryptocurrency, adoption, and just what's going on around the world. Number one, AWS, Amazon Web Services, partners with Avalanche to scale blockchain solutions for enterprises and governments. And it is official, it is also on the AWS website, where they have partnered with Ava Labs, the team behind Avalanche, and they'll make it easier for developers to get involved in blockchain and more specifically to build on the Avalanche blockchain. First off, I think that's great. I think that's very bullish for Amazon long term. Not financial advisor or anything, but as more people use the Avalanche blockchain, that's more transactions. You need the coin to fuel those transactions, and all transactions on Avalanche are burned, which helps decrease the token supply and instantly creates more value for all AVAX holders. So potentially we can see a lot of good things in the future from Avalanche because this is a big partnership. Amazon isn't going to risk their reputation by partnering with anything high risk, so you can see that they trust Avalanche to provide blockchain services to their customers.
I expect that NFTs will continue to grow very significantly. We're not probably close to adding crypto as a payment mechanism in our retail business, but I do believe over time that you'll see crypto become bigger, and it's possible.
Could you see yourself selling NFTs?
Yeah, I think it's possible down the road.
That was the CEO of Amazon with a very positive outlook on cryptocurrency and NFTs. So there are rumors online speculating that Amazon may be creating an NFT marketplace. I personally think Amazon is going to do it if they see other players in the space like Apple, Google, Sony jump into NFT marketplaces, because then it's going to be very common and it's not going to be as surprising, and they don't want to take the risk yet, but if other large companies are doing this, then they're going to jump in. So that's just a very positive outlook from one of the biggest companies in the world. Bitcoin is trading at a 60% premium in Nigeria. So Nigerians are willing to pay a 60% premium on the crypto exchange NairaX because they don't want their currency. Because here's what happened. Nigeria has enforced some new regulations for their cash. If you're using an ATM, the daily limit that you can withdraw is $44 US. And they're phasing out their old cash notes for new cash notes. So this is causing a lot of chaos since it's all happening very quickly, and the old cash has no more value. As of the 1st of February, that is no longer considered a legal tender, and all new notes should be considered legal tender. Now the problem is, since they launched this new currency too quickly, merchants don't know if that new money is real or counterfeit, so they are having a lot of issues trusting this new process because they believe the new notes are easy to counterfeit. And what's not easy to counterfeit is Bitcoin. So the people of Nigeria said, no, we don't accept this new currency. We're buying Bitcoin even if it's at a premium, which is pretty inspirational. Starting February 1st, Lebanon will officially devalue their currency by 90%. Now, This doesn't really mean anything because their currency has been devalued for a long time, especially on the black market. So if we look at the official exchange rate and we look at what it is over time, it should have been around 1,500 Lebanese pounds to $1. But in reality, if we looked at the exchange rates for MasterCard, that was actually 38,000. With Visa, it's 42,000. And on the black market, it's actually 64,000. So Lebanon has been struggling with inflation, and they're not very transparent about how much their money is actually worth. And this is just something I want to shine a light on because Bitcoin fixes this. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, digital assets, where you won't see this hyperinflation, you will see volatility, but it does give hope that, hey, maybe there is a better solution than inflation. And this video has been brought to you by MarginX. MarginX is a decentralized trading platform where you can trade on margin. So you can see that I have an open position here that I can trade on leverage if I choose to, and you always have ownership of your own coins. I have a detailed video on how everything works. Links will be in the description. But if you join the newsletter, I will be giving away MarginX NFTs for free, and that's to you, the people, the subscribers, and you have a good chance of winning because there aren't a lot of people involved. So yeah, if you want to get started with MarginX, there is a link in the description, and you will want to join the newsletter for a chance at winning a level 2 NFT from the MarginX team. LBRY. It's a digital platform where creators can create content and potentially get paid for it. Now, back in March 2021, the SEC sued LBRY for offering LBC tokens without registering with the agency. So they've been in this lawsuit for about 2 years, and they finally got some good news. A judge clarified that LBRY credit tokens, known as LBC, are only considered securities at the time of direct sale, a ruling that could potentially bode well for other cryptocurrencies. So whenever a cryptocurrency trades on the secondary markets, basically what it's doing now on any exchange, any centralized or decentralized exchange, it is not considered a security. It's only considered a security if you do an ICO. So the results from this case could really help out Ripple, Dragon Chain, and other cryptocurrencies that are currently being sued by the SEC. Now, the judge that ruled on this case mentioned that he is not the SEC, he doesn't do the SEC's job, and since the SEC hasn't provided the clarity for him to make a decision, he's going to make the decision, at least to the best of his ability. The Robinhood crypto wallet is now available to over 1 million users of the Robinhood trading platform, so users can finally own and hold their own cryptocurrency and jump into Web3. Now, the Robinhood Wallet is only available for iOS at the moment and will later be available for Android later in 2023. I think it's awesome that Robinhood is allowing their users to own their own cryptocurrency and jump into the world of crypto, but for myself, I'm going to continue using MetaMask since I am not a Robinhood user or a fan of their platform because there are better platforms. And the only reason to use Robinhood is because it's easy. It's easy for new people to understand the fundamentals of what's happening. It's very direct and it feels fun. But there are a lot of other platforms that offer better features for crypto traders. Point of sale, giant Clover, teams up with Strike to bring Bitcoin's Lightning Network to millions of merchants. Now, this is very big because Clover is a large platform with millions of merchants, and they are a competitor to Square. So if you're familiar with these platforms, they allow small businesses to accept payments. But right now, they're just going through a trial period over the next 90 days to assess the speed, cost, and usage. So if you want to support the adoption of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin Lightning, you might want to pay with your Bitcoin Lightning at a Clover merchant. If you're not familiar with Bitcoin Lightning, it is the faster version of Bitcoin that kind of lives on another chain, and you can make payments instantly. Strike helps facilitate this as well as other platforms. If you're not familiar with Strike, maybe I'll do a tutorial video on them, but it's pretty easy to use. It's kind of like Cash App, but with Bitcoin Lightning. And I think Cash App does that too now. Hold on. Yes, it does. So if you have Cash App or Strike, you can pay using Bitcoin Lightning to a Clover merchant, and I recommend doing that if you can, just because you'd be supporting cryptocurrency in general, and everybody benefits. What's pumping and what's dumping? We're going to take a look at the crypto markets for January. And basically, if you invested in almost any cryptocurrency from the top 100, excluding stablecoins, you would have been profitable. Now, that's not always guaranteed. 2022 was awful, but it was really nice to see a very green month where Bitcoin went up about 40%, and Aptos was the leader here with over 300%. And the worst you could have done would have been investing in Unis Said Leo, which is the token for Bitfinex. Now we also want to understand why Aptos pumped so much. So if we dig into Aptos here, we can see that a majority of the trading volume is on Upbit against the Korean won. So that's where most of the trading volume for Aptos has been. Personally, not my favorite investment, but that doesn't mean it's not going to go up. And a lot of the pumps were also from short sellers, from people shorting it and it going up. So they got short squeezed. And you can see here that they've had at least in the last 24 hours, they've had like $1.3 billion in trading volume. Fully diluted market cap at 18 billion, which is very high, and a market cap of 2.8 billion at the moment. Now, Aptos' main strength is NFTs. They have a lot of competition when it comes to the layer 1 ecosystem space. So, if this trend will continue, I don't know. It'd be nice because that's kind of good for all of crypto if things just go up forever, but that's unlikely to happen. But of course, this video is just for information and not financial advice. Then the second biggest gainer, Gala, with over 200% in gains for the month of January. That may have been because Gala Games announced a partnership with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock, but soon after, they deleted that tweet. So I don't know if they're actually making a film with The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. If they do, that doesn't necessarily mean the cryptocurrency is going to be successful, because that costs a lot of money, and for people to join the Gala ecosystem, it's all about games and ownership, so they're gonna still have to do something big. They're gonna have to make The Rock or Mark Wahlberg give crypto tutorials to get their fans involved, which seems unlikely. But if they do produce a very good film, and it doesn't have to even be crypto related, they could just be financing the film through Gala, and that would create more use cases for cryptocurrency and the acceptance from large Hollywood stars. So Gala might be something to watch in the short term, but just because Hollywood stars are on board doesn't guarantee that the coin will actually go up in value. As we've seen with Elon Musk and Doge, he's very Doge enthusiastic. He was going on Saturday Night Live, he talked about Doge, but that didn't really spark enough interest from regular people to get involved in cryptocurrency. And then in third place for the month of January with over 200% in gains is Threshold. And if we look at their charts, they've been trading for a little less than a year, since February of 2022. And according to their website, their focus is the safe way to earn with your Bitcoin. So it looks like they do staking and liquidity, but I don't really know too much about their platform, and I haven't used it enough to give any quality opinion on it. I'm just very concerned about chasing yield, because that did not go well in 2022, so I'd just be very careful out there. Now, taking a look at the rest of the market, we can see that layer 2 platforms and alternative layer 1s that do smart contracts or help Ethereum go faster took some of the top spots for the month of January. You have Optimism, Phantom, Solana, Loopring, Immutable X, Mina, Avalanche, Engine, Near. Each of these are their own ecosystem for decentralized applications. So there was a very strong trend for layer 1 and 2 blockchains in January. So those all did pretty well. Then we saw some other positive trends too, with GameFi and metaverse tokens like Mana and the Sandbox. And then kind of in the 80% range, we saw decentralized file storage do pretty well with Arweave and Filecoin. And those were the pumps. As far as the dumps, Not many coins dumped in January, at least in the top 100. A majority of them were very profitable. So I hope this trend continues. There's no guarantee that'll happen, but it's nice. It's nice to have a very green month. It's very inspirational to stay involved in crypto because these are the moments where you can find those big opportunities. Which brings us to our next part. Where are the next 100x opportunities? So if you're looking for the next 100x opportunity in cryptocurrency, that really depends on your time frame. So let's just put things into perspective, because is that 100x in an hour, a week, a month, a year, or more? Sometimes it can be more than a year. So you want to look for things that have a lot of potential and you want to be early. Those are just the basic fundamentals for long-term investing, but 100x's are never guaranteed. But it is possible, and right now I'm looking at a lot of new layer 2 blockchains that make Ethereum faster and cheaper, and each of these have their own ecosystem where decentralized applications are being built on them. A lot of these, even the blockchains, don't have tokens yet. So that's where I see the next 100x opportunity is. It's getting involved in these ecosystems that don't have a token yet and being one of the first people involved when there is a token. Because for you to use these platforms early, they typically reward you with an airdrop. Now, that's a whole nother video in itself, so just make sure you're subscribed, and I'm gonna have a video on that soon. Then this is just being very general here. Infrastructure. I also think that investments that solve real-world infrastructure problems could be big, especially relating to decentralized computing solutions. Because with the rise of AI tools and applications, that computing power goes through AWS or other very similar large services. And for reference, Amazon Web Services, AWS, makes around $20 billion each quarter, or about $80 billion in revenue each year. So there is a lot of money out there in web services. And with just ChatGPT, not including any other AI tools out there, it's estimated that they are spending anywhere from $1 to $3 million per day on AWS. So that's where decentralized computing comes in, because they can slowly take on some of that market share over time as they build trust and a platform that's easy to use and get involved with, because they can do the same services as AWS at a fraction of the cost. Dynamic NFTs. Chainlink announced that they are creating dynamic NFTs, and these are NFTs that can change over time. So you'd start off with a base NFT, and that can change as your character evolves. Let's say it's something like an RPG, or maybe it's something with the school system where like, hey, you learn these credits, you get to this level. So with dynamic NFTs, you can have a lot more options and opportunities than the regular static NFTs that are just an image. So this could potentially be big for GameFi. I would be looking out for any project that are using these and are using it well and is a game that is fun to play. So this is just another cool development that could have a lot of potential in the future if used well, because that could bring in more people into crypto, into GameFi, and could potentially be profitable. But of course, not financial advice, just saying that's where this potential trend could be going, as it's pretty useful. So with that, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, feel free to hit that like button. Links are in the description for a lot of things, and there's a giveaway. And with that, I hope you got your full value for today.